Okay, let me go over this goal setting assignment. It seems to have kind of confused some of you. So, first of all, there's a really good video in Module 15 that explains each one of these, okay? And then you also have to remember, even though you've defined each one of these, you always have to do the action, evaluate, and then revise the goal, okay, after you get done. So I'm going to show you how to use this when we get down further. Just keep that in mind. Make sure you give me the characteristics in this one. So let's go down and look at the goals. So for personal goals, think of something that you want to personally do. I just grabbed learn yoga within a year. Professional goal is get a PhD within 5 years. And a financial goal would be buying a house within 10 years. So let's go back up and check these against that SMART goal. So first of all, that personal goal, I'm going to learn yoga. How specific is that? Well, learning yoga is fairly specific, but there are different types of yoga. So if I really wanted to be specific, I would put in the type of yoga I wanted to learn. And within a year, that means it's time-bound, so I've got my time in there, so it's measurable. Then can I do that? Well, barring the fact that I'm not disabled or I don't have some type of illness that would keep me from learning yoga, yeah, it's actionable and it's relevant. So that kind of sets the goal up. Am I done? No. There's a lot more to do with that goal, such as lay out how I'm going to go about it. So that's one way of just getting the goal set up. Now, how about a personal goal? Getting a PhD within 5 years. Well, it's kind of specific. Again, you have to go back and ask these questions. What kind of PhD? What field do I want to get that PhD in? Where do I want to get that PhD? All of the data that would surround that, or the factors that would surround that. So basically this one's set except for, again, the type of PhD or the type I would want in the field. Finally, let's look at my financial goal, which would be buying a house. So again, you would want to narrow that down for more specific factors, like the type of house, where it's going to be. You know, there's just a lot to look at. And then I want to buy it within 10 years. So now what do I do with this? So I'm going to select the financial goal to fill in here. And so my goal that I'm selecting, if you would just put your goal right up here, buying a house, and we'll move that over so it lines up again. So what do I have to do to buy a house within 10 years? Well, let's go all the way down here. So week 1, I would look at this and again, how specific. I would come down here. Okay, specifics. S would be buy a ranch house in the country. That pretty well tells you what you're looking at. So ranch house in the country. And I want to spend $150,000 in today's dollars. So now the first thing you have to look at is this is now, and you're going to be 10 years down the road, right? So how much is that house going to cost? It's the first thing you have to ask. How much is it going to cost in 10 years? And let's say house values go up 5% a year, and 10 years, so that's about, it's going to cost 50% more. So that $150,000 house I want to buy now will probably cost in the range of $200,000, give or take some money. So now you're able to decipher or calculate for a down payment. So your down payment, you have to know what your down payment is, would be 1/3 of that. So 1/3 of, let's make this 210,000 so it's an easy divide. So 1/3 of that would be $70,000. So this week I will have to calculate how much money is needed to be saved for a down payment. So that's my first task. And then I would list the steps underneath that needs to happen to come up with that $70,000 down payment. So within a month, okay, I need to verify, because I've just kind of been calculating this off the top, I need to verify how my down payment, the type of house I want, and the location, such as, do I really want it in the country? So what do I have to do to figure that out? Well, that didn't work. So what do I have to do to figure that, all of that out? The type of house, do I really want that? So I've got to do some research. So one of my steps is going to be research houses. And, you know, get online and look around, and also, you know, check people out who live in the country. What are the pros and the cons? All of that. Make sure that this is what you really want to do. And if it is, make sure you can verify that down payment is going to be about $70,000 you think you're going to need, located in the country. So now you can decide, you've got 10 years, right? How much money you're going to have to save each week. Or each month. Let's make it easier. So if you have 10 years to do this, that would be 120 months, right? And you need $70,000. So you're going to have to save how much each month? So if you take 70,000 and divide it by 120 months, you will find out how much you need to save, $583 a month. So you need to save about $580 per month towards your house. Is that doable with what you're making now? So it most likely won't be. But what you can do is say, okay, well, what can I afford? I mean, this is the relevant part, okay? And the doable part. You need to be able to save that much money for 10 years to come up with $70,000. What's not taken into consideration is depreciation, yada, yada, yada. So you may have to compromise and say, well, I can afford $100 and start putting $100 per month in an account. So within a month, you should be able to do that. Verify the down payment, the type of house location, how much to save each month, and when to reevaluate that again. So in 6 months then, how much money should you have saved up? Well, you're saving about $100 a month, right? 6 months, so you'll have $600 saved up. Now, do you want to leave that? Here's where you come to the decision. Do you want to leave that? You're going to, in just an account, or do you want to, you're going to evaluate your savings? That's what you're going to do in 6 months. And the question becomes, do you leave in a savings account? Or do you invest it or do you put it in a CD? And whatever you decide is what you'll do, and you will continue to save money each month. Now, at a year, you're going to do the same type of evaluation. You're going to have same evaluation, only I would add one more evaluation. You're going to evaluate what to do with the money you've saved, but also evaluate, it would help if I spelled it right, wouldn't it? Evaluate if you want to start saving more. So evaluate how much you are saving. How quickly are you coming to that? And you'll look at how much you need, how much you've saved, and how much more money you could save now that you've maybe got a job promotion, or you're making more money, or whatever. So each year you're going to do that. That's where that action, what are you doing? You evaluate how you're doing, and if you can do better, if it needs to be changed, revised. So when you come up to at 5 years, let's say, and all along you've been evaluating, you find out you have $20,000, and you have 5 more years to go. Then you'll evaluate again. So you might say, well, I need to have at least, let's see, 5 times 500, 6,000, should have at least 30,000 here. That's a goal. How do I get that goal? I only have 20. So again, you would reevaluate it. So as you're going along, you keep looking at goals. And then at 9 years, if you've got maybe 50,000, it might be time to start looking for a house. It might be time to start setting this stuff up. These are how goals get set. And that's how you use the SMART time bound. Another way of doing it is look at, okay, in 10 years, I need $70,000. Well, I'm bound determined to hit that. In 9 years, I need $60,000. So if you put in each year how much money you need, and then you could do the same thing about the amount of money you've saved and compare it to what you need. So you're kind of doing dual goals and just kind of comparing how you're getting there. So that's one way of doing that. The one thing you have to remember about goals is it never goes exactly the way you planned it, so always be able to adapt and adjust and be flexible. So I hope this has helped a little bit. So I thank you